Chapter 9 Practice Test Trigonometric Ratios and Functions. Number 1, convert 320 degree to radius. To convert the degree into radius, you're going to multiply it by pi and divide by 180. Cancel the 0 and reduce these two numbers. 32 divided by 2, if you want to reduce it by 2, is going to be 16, and here is 9. So 16 pi divided by 9, that's the radians form of 320. If you find the cotangent 4 pi over 3 from the unit circle, 4 pi over 3 is negative 1 over 2 comma square root 3 over 2, which is x comma y. For cot theta, this is going to be x over y, so negative 1 over 2 divided by negative 3 square root 3 over 2. You can change this division into multiplication. So you can do is change this division into multiplication and flip square root 3 over 2 as 2 over square root 3. 2 and 2 cancel, negative and negative cancel. This is 1 over square root 3. Whenever you have 1 over square root, to rationalize, put the square root on top and bottom number would be without square root. For number 3, to sketch negative 675 clockwise, because it's negative, it's negative 270, negative 360. When you complete clockwise negative 360 and go more, so how many 360? Let's see in here. Negative 75 plus 360 is going to be negative 315. So you complete one cycle of negative 360 and complete another, and the angle is 315. So this is the angle negative 675 or negative 315. This is a coterminal angle of negative 315. To find the reference angle, which is the shortest distance from 0, coterminal angle negative 315, reference angle, which is the shortest distance from x-axis, and that is the difference between 360 and 315 in a positive one, and that's the difference, that is 45 degree. For number 4, you're going to graph the cosine negative 2 cos x plus 3. 1 period means under 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi is called 1 period. The highest point is always negative 1 to 1, but in the cosine where it said plus 3, the line of the x-axis is moved 3 unit up. So you also pay the attention that this is your original 0, pi over 2 pi, 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi graph or x-axis. If you're moving this one 3 unit up, so 1, 2, 3, and this is the line of graph now, and it's moved 3 unit up because it's plus 3. The normal graph of sine looks like a U-shaped graph, that is this type of graph, but since it's a negative, instead of starting from the highest point. This graph is going to start from the lowest point, and it's always from 1 to 1. So for example, you can see that this is 1, 2, this is 3 and 4. Lowest point 1, it touch the 0 axis, cross at pi over 2, reach the maximum at pi, cross 3 pi, and this is your pi over 2. This point is pi comma 4. It means that the maximum point is 4. This point or this point is 2 pi comma 2. It means that minimum value is 2. Negative, that's why it's upside down. If it is positive, it looks like this. Amplitude is the height of the graph, so amplitude is 1. That's the height of the graph, 1. For number 5, amplitude is the number that is in the front and is 4. The period for this one is going to be 2 pi divided by 6. 2 pi divided by 6 means pi over 3. So always we need in between 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So in between is 1, 2, 3, and that's the end. It is pi over 3. The middle one, from 0 to pi, the middle point is going to be this one. Midpoint of 0 and pi over 3 is pi over 6. That's a middle point. Height of the graph is 4. It means it starts from 0. Sine graph start from the 0, reaches the maximum. Next point, it crosses the x-axis and reach the minimum, and then at the final point it's going to meet at pi over 3. In this case, normally it will be 0 to 2 pi. Here it is the pi over 3, that is your cycle or period. Maximum point is going to be 4 and minimum is -4. This is called midline or the line of axis, and that midline is y equals 0, or it's called x-axis. For number 6, you're going to write the equation of the graph. It seems like that we have this is as our equation a cosine bx. First of all, we need to know what is the height of the graph, that is a. In this case, the height looks like that is starting from 4, so the height of the graph is 4 in the front. Now it looks like this completing the whole cycle between 0 to 8 pi. So between 0 to 8 pi, and this is not a 2 pi graph. So if we want to get the period of this one as 8 pi, so it means that b should be 1 over 2. When you make this 2 pi divided by 1 over 2 would be 1 over 4 actually, and that becomes 8 pi. So the period becomes 8 pi if we have b as 1 over 4. Number 7, given is this diagram, and it can be just given the points, and you have to probably sometime plot this point Either way, you should know that this is x and y. And to find r, you should know that you're going to take a square of x and square of y. And that's going to be 25 plus 4 and square root 29. Sine theta is y over r, so which means that negative 2 over r. If you want to make it rationalize, you keep the square root on top and bottom would be without square root. Cosine is x over r, which means in this case 5 over square root 29, 5 square root 29 over 29. Rationalizing is not a big deal. You just keep the square root same on the top and bottom would be without the square root. Y over x. Y over x means negative 2 over 5. R is square root 29 over y. R over x. Cotangent is opposite of sine. For number 8, this is a unit circle. It means we are talking about when r is 1. It means we are talking about where we can find the x and y from the unit circle that is already given. But we need to find out what is 7 pi. 7 pi minus 2 pi is 4 pi. So you're going to multiply twice of 2 pi, or actually 3 times, and that's 7 pi minus 6 pi will give you pi, and that pi is right here. You can multiply as many 2 pi's as you need to get this inside the circle. So you subtract 2 pi, it gives you 4 pi still outside the circle. If you subtract 4 pi and you get 3 pi, you can get 3 pi, but if you multiply it 3 times 2 pi, and that's gonna give you pi for your on the unit circle. After that is you just follow from the unit circle. The unit circle was that at pi it's going to be negative 1 comma 0, which is x comma y. In this case, sine is just y because the r is not there. Cosine is just x. Tangent is y over x. Cosecant is 1 over sine and is going to give you undefined. Secant is negative 1. Cotangent is opposite of tangent, 1 over 0, and makes it undefined again. Question number 12, you're going to give the specifics for this question. Negative 2 cosine x plus pi. Amplitude is the number that is in the front, and it should be positive always because it's the height of the graph. There is no b in the front of this angle, so there is no b, it's just 1. It means the period is still 2 pi. If there is a number in the front here, then you divide 2 pi by that number, 2 pi divided by b. Vertical shift is the cosine plus or minus something added to the function. So there is no vertical shift. Horizontal shift, it means they're talking about this value, and that is plus pi, which means it's moving pi to the left. Describe the transformation of this completely. So the negative in front means it's a reflection. The 2 in the front means it's a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Pi means move left pi unit. So for number 10, they're all given. So it means that if you're talking about 90 degree, this one is 90 degree, or pi over 2, and that is 0 comma 1 or x comma y. At the next one is 60 degree or pi over 3. This one is 45 degree or pi over 4. 30 degree or pi over 6, and this is 0 degree or just 2 pi. 1 comma 0, and here you're going to have square root 3 over 2 comma 1 over 2, square root 2 over 2, square root 2 over 2, 1 over 2 comma square root 3 over 2. You're going to fill this table. It doesn't matter if you write degree or radian. If you write degree here, you're going to say 2 degree 0 and 2 pi. Sine, this is cosine comma sine, that is x comma y. Sine here is 0, cosine is 1. At 30 degree or pi over 6, sine is 1 over 2, cosine is square root 3 over 2. At 60 or pi over, at 45 or pi over 4. Both of them are same. At 60 or pi over 3, sine is square root 3 over 2, cosine is 1 over 2. And the last one is 90 degree or pi over 2, where sine is 0. No, this one I made a mistake. It should be sine is 1 and cosine 0.